Hey everyone, welcome to Stories of Architecture. Let's talk about the top 5 portfolio mistakes to absolutely avoid. Let's begin. Number 1, cluttering. This is the number one major mistake most students and young professionals commit in making their portfolios. Placing all the information in one single page is of no use at all. Have a look at this example. Where is the viewer even supposed to begin with? Is it supposed to be read from left to right like a regular page, beginning with what appears to be an extremely small elevation? Or is the text most important because it has been highlighted the most? Or does one begin with the site plan on the right and then move to the models below because they have been enclosed in a peculiar triangular shape? If that is the case, why does the positioning change in the next slide where the plan shifts to the left and the model is in the middle? Look, you have to understand in what condition a person is going to view your portfolio. She or he will be sitting 2 to 3 feet away from their computer screen, sipping on some hot tea or coffee while they scroll through many portfolios to pass their small snack time. And if they have to put an extra effort to figure out what the project is even about and what you have designed, then you have already lost the game, my friend. To avoid this, you need to meet your new best friend while making your portfolio, and its name is breathing space. So, what does the breathing space even mean? Breathing space is the blank portion of the page which facilitates in making the subject of that page more prominent and more impactful. Now, the subject in this case can be anything ranging from your concepts to 2D drawings to 3D renders, physical models, and even text if that's important for you. Now, have a look how the breathing space in this portfolio is helping us in keeping our focus on the subject. Thanks to that, it makes the portfolio so much more understandable, so much more readable, because we don't have to put an extra effort in figuring out what to look at first, as the breathing space guides us towards the subject. Some experts like to call this the negative space or white space, but I don't like to use that because it is confusing. Breathing space does not have to be white, as we can see in this example. So remember that not every nook and corner of the page have to be filled with some information. Utilize the breathing space to let your subjects breathe, and as a result, let the viewer also breathe with their eyes. Number 2, dumping whole sheets. This is one of the most annoying things to look at, as it shows a complete lack of sincerity. It seems as the person just clicked the picture of their sheet, dumped it on a PowerPoint, added a few captions, and exported it as a PDF. There is no effort put whatsoever in composition or making the portfolio legible. This is even worse than the previous mistake because in that, at least they made an effort to compose, however poorly it may have turned out. But this, have a look at this example. The individual has put their complete design sheets, but it is unreadable even if we zoom in a lot. So remember, a portfolio is like a garden where you carefully plant your flowers, your trees. It is not a dumping ground where you just throw away your stuff. Write that down. 3. Text, text, text. There is so much to say about this aspect of the portfolio. So let's have a look at each one of them with examples, starting with shifting text. This is a rookie mistake where the positioning of the text changes from slide to slide. It is easily avoidable, so don't do that. Next, changing text. Another silly mistake that shows carelessness. Select a font and stick to it. Next, wacky text. When I say select a font, definitely don't choose anything over the top, as it comes off as childish. Next, large and tiny text. Wrong text size can ruin even the best of portfolios. Too big of a text can shift the focus from your subject. Too little a text becomes unreadable. A typical text size for a A4 size sheet ranges between 12 points to no more than 18 points. So decide which one suits your layout. Next, how much text? Nobody reads a whole essay about your project, while at the same time, a lack of explanatory text leaves one clueless. Finding the right balance is key. Ideally, a crisp, well written paragraph is enough to explain the contents of the whole project or of that page. Number 4, the last page problem. You won't believe how many portfolios use their last page for either these two things, sketches and photography. It has become some sort of an unwritten rule where 8 out of 10 portfolio follow this template to show that they know how to sketch and use a camera. The strange thing is, most people show their sketching and model making skills on the last page, but those skills are completely missing when we go back to their earlier design projects. So, there is a better way to approach this. Rather than just placing your skill related to sketching or model making in just the last slide, showcase those skills by incorporating them in your design projects or your cover page or your index. For example, you can use your modeling skills to explain a concept of your design. That would be a more useful way of exhibiting your skills rather than just a standalone model or sketch with no context at all. Similarly, figure out a way for photographs too, or at least caption them and choose one which has composition, not just any random picture. Okay, so after incorporating those skills in your design projects, then you can think of adding an extra few skills, extra few sketches as a last slide, or extra few photography as a last slide if you want to. Number 5, starting late. This is the most basic mistake as it gets, no doubt about it. Most students and young professionals are aware when the internship or college admission season begins. Yet, we all wait for the last minute. And trust me when I say this, making a good portfolio which is well composed and doesn't have the mistakes takes time. Especially if you are making your portfolio for the first time and if you're not well versed with the softwares. So, starting early will be beneficial for you as it will allow you more time and to refine your projects, to make more options and add anything important if it is required. Starting early will give you a head start and you will be ahead of 83% of your classmates who would still be scratching their heads on how to begin. This will in turn increase your chances of getting into your desired firm exponentially. Remember, early bird catches the worm. Hey everyone, I hope you liked the video. I have at least 20 more portfolio tips that I can share with you. So, like this video, let me know in the comments if you would want more such videos. Also, don't be selfish and share the video with your friends and colleagues and subscribe to the channel for more such videos. Okay then, मिलते हैं फिर.